Which brings us to Monday's favorite activity. It's time for prospecting with the Welsh. That's right, everybody. It's time to look at them prospects that Welsh is looking down on the farm for. Put a little piece of wheat in our mouth and go take a look at some of these youngins
Yeehaw!
on their way to Major League Baseball. Welsh, let's take a look here. Start with Bryce Eldridge. Bryce Eldridge of the San Francisco Giants. Certainly a guy that we've all been talking about for a while now, coming off a game 1-for-4 with a walk and a homer, 4 RBIs on Sunday. He's hitting just 237, 318, 517 in July, but he did miss some time with a hamstring strain. So let's talk about Eldridge, what he could do potentially here for this Giants lineup. Will we see him soon now for the Giants as they're trying to scuffle their way and maintain a spot in the playoffs?
Yeah, so especially this version of prospecting, it is trying to identify some that are kind of trade related, but the most likely that we know right now, because I just want to point out, this is going to open wide up with the trade market. Teams might trade, that is going to open up spots for players. They might trade players to another team that could open this up. So these are your likely candidates. And I've been kind of talking about Bryce Eldridge for a couple weeks now. We did it on the, just before the All-Star break because he was injured. He got back to AAA. Yes, the batting average has had slight struggles with the injury, but he's still flying. He's hit multiple home runs over the last couple. He's at around a 260 average overall. The AAA numbers are a little bit lower, but in 25 games, he's already hit 7 homers. And I think that's the big key here is that bat can help this team, which I still think they desperately need if they're going to make this big push of a run, because you can go and put him as a DH. He can cover quite a few different spots. He can cover some first base as they're kind of transitioning with some of this Rafael Devers stuff. He can get into a corner outfield. There's a potential because of the struggles coming off the injury. They hold a little bit tighter, but I really do think we're on the precipice of them just not wanting to keep him down there too long. Now, he is a young guy. He's 20 years old. So that's something to consider with how they push it. But I think putting him in like a DH spot, hitting around 5 or 6 is a definite possibility. I'm not sure how much they benefit from keeping him in the minor leagues the rest of the way. And they need an infusion of power to this offense. So we got to keep and pay attention to Bryce Eldridge. And the last thing I would say is when we're looking at some of the batting average numbers, if they're looking at the harder data, almost a 60% hard hit rate. He has got a 96 average exit velocity in AAA. Get him out of there. The bat and the ball is going to fly. Love me some Bryce Eldridge.
We also love us some Spencer Jones, who was on an epic home run tear. 13 homers in 19 games since the promotion in AAA. Now, here's the thing. He's dealing with a back injury. We touched on it earlier in the show. But now the spot is opened up, and the Yankees desperately need some help with offense. So if the back checks out in the next couple of days, do you think the Yankees check Spencer Jones into the Bronx?
I do think this is a possibility. And that's why when we were talking earlier, it's, do they go and make an acquisition? Do they not? I think the changes that have been made with Spencer Jones internally are enough that we can actually justify this whole, like, he went from, we couldn't throw him in a trade to get somebody to he is now becoming untouchable, because he has made some big strides in his swing. If you look at old video of his swing to what it is now, he's got a similar release point to Aaron Judge. He's got this open stance first step that goes in. He's using the torpedo bat as talked about, and you're seeing absolutely ridiculous results at AAA. All of this to say that I think they're comfortable. Now, my problem would be is like, how many are they going to test the limits of how many 30% strikeout percentage guys you can have? Like, you just got some swing and miss issues, but if you're missing some offense, he's going to hit pop flies that are going to fly out of there, because like we talked about with Bryce Eldridge, 61% hard hit rate he's got at AAA, 95 average exit velocity. He can run. This is another big dude that I personally think, unless this back issue is not a thing, I think they're going to pass on going to acquire a big outfielder, and Spencer Jones comes up within the week. And if not, maybe they make a big trade and Spencer Jones is the centerpiece of it, and then he would be up with that team. So I think it's a decent time to invest in Spencer Jones, but there's a little bit of mystery going on with that back injury that we kind of need to pay attention to, and maybe might be something to worry about.
All right, next on our list is another prospect, Robby Snelling. So let's talk about Robby Snelling here, the lefty starting pitcher. We've gotten some, again, this is that time of year or two where trades are happening, so we're looking for movement potentially with guys. We're looking for openings and rotations. We're looking for guys who could get moved. So what's appealing to you about Robby Snelling here on prospecting this week?
Yeah, well, I mean, the potential trade market of what can open up that, we could be seeing him very, very soon. He was a former Padres prospect. I really like him. This year, he made an interesting change where he kind of dumped off of using a sinker. He's going four seam, he's going slider, added a curveball and a changeup. He throws all of these over 10 percentile of the time. We've seen huge results from him just overall this year. He's got an almost 15% swinging strike rate in AAA right now. It's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. He's found his command again. You can just see statistically the numbers are really starting to fall into place as someone who kind of fell off for a little bit. The AAA numbers have been a little bit wonky, but I think this is also a guy that has pushed this system that if they were to trade off Alcantara and Edward Cabrera, I do think we could see Robby Snelling, and I think he's going to be a big strikeout guy, and he's going to be another in the long line of players that have just found success like Cabrera, like Meyer. There's so many injuries there that I think this could be a spot starter. So pay attention. He won't get traded, but I think a trade could open up a spot for him.
We got one more guy to chat about too, Logan Henderson, a guy that came up earlier this year for the Brewers and made some really impactful starts, but he's not Jacob Mizorowski. Like, that's the only negative that I can find about Logan Henderson. He was terrific before he got the call. He was arguably even better when the Brewers let him go into the rotation. Now, I know Quintana got beat around a little bit, so maybe, just maybe, we can see Logan Henderson again for the Brewers, but it does feel like Welsh, if they are going to add a big bat, if I were the Diamondbacks and you wanted Suarez for me, this is the guy that I would ask for because I know I'm not getting Mizorowski. So this is the chip they have to move. The question is, will the Brewers do it, or do they keep that insurance policy for the back end of this rotation they currently have?
You nailed it. This is the thing. Like Logan Henderson, he's been solid. AAA, he's got around a 3.5 ERA, a 10K per nine. Walks have been kept down. Like we kind of know who he is as a pitcher. If we need to, go back through it, fastball has been solid. It's been a tiny little itty bitty down while he's been in AAA, but guy's got ridiculous strikeout stuff, really good command. His changeup, he went ballistic with in his major league debut. This is a great pitcher, but the funniest and most interesting part about this is he might get moved, and he might be one of the most prominent pitching prospects. And the Diamondbacks have been rumored he would go directly into the rotation for the Diamondbacks if he were traded. Mm-hmm. And it seems like because of the success with some of the major league guys, some of the guys they have in their system, and obviously Mizorowski, I think he is the chip that's going to make the big push. I think they're going to do it, and I think Logan Henderson could get moved. So I love the idea of picking him up because we don't see a path with the Brewers, but I think there's a path somewhere else. Hitter-friendly environment if he were to go to Arizona, but still a strong defense, some run support. So I really like the idea of sneaky getting in on Logan Henderson right now because all the stuff has been good, and I think he might be pitching for another team in about 7 days, 5 days, maybe 4. Maybe 1.
Maybe 2. Maybe now. What? Maybe before this video is over.
Maybe.
Well, before this video is over, one thing you should definitely do is subscribe to the YouTube channel, FantasyPros MLB. And, of course, you can always check out Welsh's work over on FantasyPros.com for more prospecting with the Welsh.